Hello viewers, welcome to K Diagnostics. Dio here. Today we have a 2001 Volvo S60 with a 2.3 liter. The complaint on this car is that the driver's side window just falls. So as you guys can see, I am able to roll the window up and down with my hand. So this is abnormal, right? So I'm gonna turn the key on so you guys can hear the noise I'm hearing when I'm trying to roll the window up and down using the control button here. So I have the key on, so I'm gonna hold it up just here. Did you guys hear that? There's a popping sound coming from behind the door panel. So this tells me that the window motor is most likely good. So we are probably dealing with a defective window regulator. And on this Volvo series, they usually have issues with the sliding blocks. They have little plastic sliding blocks on the base of the window that holds the window on the regulator. So I don't know if we have those blocks that are broken or if the regulator itself is completely worn out. So we're gonna find out in a minute. Now that we have confirmed the complaint, the next step is gonna be removing this door panel. When the customer brought it here to the shop, he actually duct taped the window up like this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna hold this window up. So I'm gonna use some duct tape and duct tape it up here so that it doesn't fall. And then we will remove this door panel. Alright, so I temporarily duct taped the window up so that it doesn't fall. So now the next step is going to be removing the door panel. And I will show you what I'm going to do next so that I can remove the door panel. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the door panel. We're going to start by removing the door handle cover first. If you look closely here, there is a crack between the door handle and the cover. So we have to remove the door handle cover. So I'm going to use a pick to remove the cover. So just pry it out slightly. And as you can see right here, it comes out. So here comes the door handle cover. And in here we do have two T25 torque bolts right here. So now the next step is going to be removing the inside rear view mirror cover. Again, with the same pick, just pry it out. And it looks like someone had already been in here because this cover is supposed to have clips and only one is here. The other ones are missing. So after removing the rear view mirror cover, the next step is going to be removing these two T20 torque bolts that hold the door panel in place. Alright, so here comes our T25 torque bolt. I'm just gonna sit it right there. Now I'm gonna remove the second one. Alright, so I did remove both T25 torque bolts. The next step is going to be undoing plastic rivets that hold the panel on the door. So if you see here, we do have a couple plastic rivets here. So there's one here, then there's another one over here. They all go along the panel, and we do have one more right here. So the way you remove these is you just push them in. So you use a pick to just push them in. Then there's another one here. I'm just gonna push all of them in. And then this one over here. Alright, so after pushing in the centerpiece of these plastic rivets, So now the next step is going to be removing the door panel. So we're going to do that by prying out the door panel towards the inside of the car. So I'm going to use both hands to do that. So you're going to use your fingertips just to pry the door panel out, and these plastic rivets will come out. Here they are. I'm just going to sit them right here. Make sure you do it gently because you don't want these plastic rivets flying out everywhere. Alright, so after removing all these plastic rivets, what you need to do is you need to pull down. So you need to pull this bottom side out and then lift. So here comes the door panel. So I got the door panel removed. Now we do have electrical connectors here that I need to disconnect. Alright, so I'm going to start by disconnecting the door handle cable here. So you just grab it and then pull it out. So here it comes. Alright, so now I'm going to disconnect the electrical connectors on the master switch. On the driver's side, there's a tab in the back of these connectors that you have to press and then pull. So here comes the first electrical connector. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. Alright, so now the next connector we're gonna disconnect is this little 2-wire connector here. So after disconnecting all these electrical connectors and this cable, now I can get my door panel out of the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the master switch out of the door panel. So here's my master switch. We're gonna use this to test the window up and down. So I got it off the door panel. I'm gonna sit it here. Now I'm gonna take this door panel to the back of the vehicle. Alright, well, somebody was definitely here before. There's supposed to be some insulation here, and it's not here, it's missing. So this tells me that someone was definitely in here. And if you look closely here, the window regulator is bent. You guys see how bent the regulator is? So that's a problem already. So the plastic sliding blocks that I was talking about are supposed to be on the bottom of the window. So I'm gonna have to lower the window a little bit, maybe up to this point, so that we can see them. But let's look at the other side first and see how it looks. So I'm gonna have to remove this plastic cover. So just get a pick and then pry it out. So right here, this is gonna give us access to the front of the window. Alright, so the window regulator is completely bent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to just bend it back. So I just bent it back and it looks pretty good. And the front side here looked pretty good. Let me see if I can get a light in there so I can show you. So you guys probably won't be able to see, but there's another arm here for the regulator. This side wasn't too bad. So I believe what happened was the plastic sliding blocks on the window broke. So this regulator here came off, and then it started hitting the window as they were trying to roll it up and down, and it bent this regulator. So we're now gonna replace the motor and the regulator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the window so that we can look at the bottom of the window here. I'm sure once we lower it, those plastic blocks won't even be there. So I'm gonna lower the window and let's see what we're gonna find. All right, so I'm gonna lower the window a little bit. So maybe up to this point. Yeah, right here. This is good enough. Okay. I like using duct tape to hold the window up because it does a good job. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see here. But this sliding plastic piece here is completely worn out, and the little circlip that holds the regulator down is not even there. I will bring you guys here so I can show you what I'm looking at. Alright, so I lowered the window, and here is the sliding block. So right here, hey, there it is. So right here, as you guys can see, it's completely worn, and someone was here. You know, you see all this grease? Yeah. So once we replace these sliding blocks, this should be fixed. And so this one had it, but the one up front here doesn't have it. I believe it fell. I believe it fell in there. So right here, you see this rail here, this sliding rail. But this side didn't have the plastic block, so I believe it must have fallen down there. Okay, so this is our issue, guys. I'm going to order these and get them, so once they get here we will install these and finish this project. So I'll bring you guys back up once I get these plastic blocks. Alright, so I showed you how worn this sliding block is, and here are the new ones. So I just got these new sliding blocks from the dealer. So there's two of them. I didn't find the other one that was up here. It's probably fell down there. I'll look for it. But so here is the new one. Can you tell the difference? I'll show you the other one again. Look at the difference. Do you see how well rounded this one is? So this one is completely broken. So we have to remove this clip. So what you need to do is you can grab a screwdriver and then pull this clip out right here. There we go. So we're just gonna put this circlip out of the way, and now what I'm going to do is gonna be, I'm gonna lower, so let me show you the glass up here. So I'm gonna lower the glass, hopefully you guys can see. So I'm gonna lower the glass up to this point so that the rail for this sliding block is somewhere around this area so I can slide it in. So here is the sliding rail on the glass. So I'm going to wipe it down. Again, like I said earlier, someone had been here, so they made a pretty huge mess here. Alright, so after wiping it down, I'm going to apply a little bit of anti-seize compound in the sliding rail, but just a little bit, not too much. Alright, so I'm going to apply a little bit of anti-seize compound here. Just right here in the rail. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more here on this sliding block. Alright, so this block is going to slide this way. So right here, okay, so we have to make sure it slides smoothly. Alright, so now that we installed this sliding block, the next step is going to be installing the second sliding block that goes up here behind this plastic cover on the front sliding rail. I will put a light out there so I can show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to do the same thing on this end. So we're going to slide this sliding block right there. So let's wipe it down a little bit. We don't want to put too much anti-seize right there, but this is good enough. Right, so right there, as you can see, it's sliding in and out smoothly. So now what's next? Well, the next step is going to be, I'm going to take this light out of here first. So now the next step is going to be lifting this window regulator up to this point. But since I have the switch disconnected, so now I'm going to bring the switch here, connect it back up so that we can lift the window regulator and connect it to these sliding blocks. Alright, so I'm going to bring the master switch back in the picture here. So we're going to connect it so we can roll up the window. Alright, so I got the master switch connected. So now I'm going to turn the key on. So I'm going to roll up the window just a little bit, and you'll see here this window regulator will start coming up. So right there, hopefully you guys can see this. Alright, so the window regulator arm has almost reached this sliding block. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to release my glass up here. So I'm going to release the window and just adjust it with my sliding block. So right there. So right there. This side is lined up. So as you can see, right there, it's sitting in place. This side here is lined up, but it's really hard. You can't really push it with your hands. So I'm going to use this channel lock here to push it in place. Right there. Did you hear that pop? The pop you heard means the arm on the window regulator has seated in the sliding block. So now I'm going to bring this little circlip here to hold this arm in place. So I'm going to use these needle nose pliers and just line it up this way and then push it in right there. Right there. So hopefully you guys saw how I installed that one. So this little circlip here is what prevents this arm from popping back out. So this is the lock that locks it into place. So we're going to do the same thing on the one up front. Alright, so now we're going to install the one up front here. So right there, as you guys can see, I got it positioned. So now I'm going to use this channel lock to press it in place. Alright, so right there, I did press it in place. Alright, so now the next step is going to be installing this little circlip. Alright, so now I'm going to install this little circlip here. Alright, so I did install the circlip. So now our window is installed. Alright, so we got the window regulator hooked up to the window. So now I'm going to remove these pieces of duct tape that I put on to hold the window up. Alright, so now let's test the window to see if we fixed it. Alright, so both of our sliding blocks are connected to the window regulator. So now let's try it to see if we fixed it. So right there our window goes up. Now let's go down. There is our window. Now all the way up. Now let's go all the way down. Right there, all the way down. So this is a fix, guys. So tell me, what do you guys think? I think this is a fix. Now the window goes up and down without any popping noise, without any restrictions. So now what's the next step, guys? What do you think is next? I'm gonna look in there to see if I can find that other sliding block that I couldn't see. And then if I can't find it, we're just gonna clean up the bottom here and then install our door panel. So what do you think the next step is? Well, the next step is going to be pulling this door panel back up. So now let's do that. So I'm going to disconnect my master switch again. So let's get it out of the way. Alright, so let's just see it right here. Now I'm gonna bring the door panel so we can install it. Alright, so I'm gonna pop this plastic cover back in so we can install our door panel. So right here. So now let's install the door panel. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna be connecting our master switch back up. So it's got two electrical connectors, one here in the back and then another one on the bottom. There we go. And then we're gonna connect this other tiny little connector back here. So all the electrical connectors are connected. Alright, so now I'm gonna hook up this door handle cable right there. So you just line it up and then push in. Alright, so after hooking up this cable, so now I'm gonna line up this little lock pin there. And then, oh, it came out. So right here. So you have to make sure you lift the panel up a little bit, right here. So lift it up. So our panel is installed. So now the next step is going to be installing this plastic rivet and then these two T25 torque bolts that hold the door panel in place. Right there. Okay. Alright, so basically what you do with these little plastic rivets is that you take this center piece out. So you install this shell first and then you put this one, you put the center piece in, right, and then push it in right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna install, so I got this one installed, I got this one. Now I'm gonna install all of them around the door panel. Alright, so I got all the plastic rivets installed on the door panel. Right now the next step would be installing this rear view mirror plastic cover, but the tabs on this cover are broken, so I'm gonna have to get another cover for this. So this is pretty easy to do. You just line it up and then push in, but I will do this later. So now I'm gonna install this door handle cover. So you just make sure you line up these holes and then push it in. Alright, so I have put everything back together. So let's do some last checks before we wrap up this video. The only remaining thing here is going to be this rear view mirror cover. This cover here in the back. The tabs, the plastic tabs on the cover are broken, so I'm going to have to get another cover for it. But everything else looks good. So I'm going to turn the ignition key on so we can double check our repair. You guys curious? So let's see. Pull it down again, and right there the window is down. And if I want to have it halfway, I'm gonna have to double click on the switch. So right there the window is sitting halfway, and as you can see I can't pull it up and down anymore with my hand. Okay, so this is because our window is attached to the window regulator behind this door panel. Okay, so this is a fix, guys. I believe the customer is gonna be happy to get his car back. Now he's gonna have a window that doesn't fall by itself. His window is working now. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it right here. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something. If this is your first time here, subscribe to my YouTube channel, K Diagnostics. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. And while you're down there, ring the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.